Hello, today I'm sharing Sephora bestsellers I think are truly worth the money and can work for pretty much anyone. I do this video a couple of times a year each time the Sephora savings event rolls around, and it starts today, April 14th, and runs through April 24th. Now, no matter what type of member you are, all beauty insiders can save 30% on Sephora collection products starting today through the end of the event with the code SAVENOW. And if you're a Rouge member like me, first access starts for you today and runs through April 17th, where you can shop before anyone else and save 20% on your purchase both in-store and online, and get free shipping with no minimum purchase, also with the code SAVENOW. Now, if you're a VIB or insider member, your time to shop is in just a few days. I will have an additional video out for you then covering different types of products, and I have more specifics, dates, and codes down in my description box, along with all the products I'm sharing today. Beauty insiders can shop as many times as you want to throughout the duration of this event. It's not too late to join and get access to the Sephora savings event. So if you're not a beauty insider, I have a link where you can see more details or join if you're interested in seeing more about that. Now, I, like many of you, have been shopping at Sephora for a really long time, and I always have so many products that I can recommend to you in these videos. It's really hard to narrow products down sometimes, and I always have a lot of fun putting these videos together. So stay tuned for a few more videos during this event that I've really enjoyed putting together. Now, this one in particular is in partnership with Sephora. I've worked with them many times throughout the years. It's always so fun sharing products that I would already be sharing with you while working with such a big brand that I've been shopping with for so long and have loved for so many years. So a big thank you again to Sephora for continuing to support my channel. Now let's go ahead and get into these bestsellers that I think are truly worth the money and that you will love. Since foundation is such a hot topic here on my channel, I figured that's where we'd start. Now, I was originally going to recommend just one or two, but then I started thinking about different skin types and desired coverage levels. So I have a few more that should cover anyone, and I just think foundation is such a great product to pick up during these events because it's a pricier product. Now, keep in mind, all the products in this video are Sephora bestsellers. So if you're not seeing me recommend something that I've talked about before, it could be that it's not a Sephora bestseller, or maybe it's a newer discovery or a different type of product that will be going in one of my subsequent videos that's going up during this event. The first foundation I'm going to recommend has been a bestseller for years and years and years, as long as I can remember, for good reason. If you want longevity, this is the foundation you need to either wear alone or to mix into other foundations, and it's great for any skin type. This is Estee Lauder Double Wear. I will never not recommend this foundation. Now, if you've had trouble applying this in the past, I do have a video on how to apply this so it looks natural and not cakey. The key is thin layers because it does set down pretty quickly, which kind of goes hand in hand with the longevity. You could put this on first thing in the morning and stay out till the wee hours and your makeup will look perfect. This gives a satin matte finish. It looks great on all skin types. You can build it from medium to full coverage. It's smoothing and flattering, mixes well with other foundations if you do want them to last longer. I can't even tell you how many bottles of this I've gone through. I will always have this in my life. This is a bestseller I will always recommend. Let's move to the foundation I have on today, which is Makeup Forever HD Skin. So this is more of a natural matte, and this, because it blurs so well while it covers, is buildable from medium to just under medium full coverage. It almost seems like you're getting more coverage from it than you are because of how flattering it is because of the blurring. It feels extremely lightweight and hydrating. It feels just very comfortable and looks natural. I always feel like my skin looks good when I wear this. It's probably a step down in coverage from Estee Lauder Double Wear. It doesn't last quite as long. Nothing lasts that long, but it still lasts a decent amount of time and is great for any skin type. My next foundation recommendation is Lancome Tunti Doll Ultra Wear Care and Glow. So this gives more of a natural radiant finish with light to just over medium coverage. It's very lightweight and long wearing and smoothing. Many times radiant foundations are reserved just for those with normal to dry skin, but this one works really well for oily combo skin too. It doesn't break down or exacerbate shine or oil production. Sometimes radiant foundations can be an issue if you have texture or mature skin. This is very flattering. So this is one of those rare radiant foundations that just works beautifully across all skin types, and it's long lasting. Now, really quickly, I want to give a shout out to one of my all-time favorite foundations that is also, from what I understand, about to be reformulated. There are still quite a few shades of Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation available on the Sephora site. Now, this is 1.6 ounces, so it's quite a bit larger than your regular traditional 1 ounce foundation bottle. You get a lot of product in here. This is an extremely skin-like foundation. You can build this from sheer to almost medium full because of how it smooths and blurs while not building up on your skin whatsoever. It just meshes with your skin so beautifully. It's extremely versatile with coverage depending on how you apply it. Also with finish, depending on what type of primer you use. It takes on the finish of primer really nicely. If you are a radiant primer underneath it or matte, it really reflects that finish nicely. It's also extremely long wearing, sweat proof, waterproof. It's such a good versatile foundation, great for all skin types. I don't know what they're doing with the reformulation, but if you're wanting to grab this while this formulation is still here, you may want to do it now. And since you can save 30% on Sephora collection products, I did want to give a shout out to a fantastic Sephora collection foundation. This is Sephora Best Skin Ever. This has a satin matte finish with light to medium coverage, and it's smoothing and flattering and looks very natural. I would say this is great for more moderately long days. It's not super long wearing, but if you have an average work day or something like that, this is a beautiful, natural, everyday foundation that you can pick up at a great price right now. I don't think I've announced officially that my holy grail under eye corrector is the Bobbi Brown stick corrector, but I mean, I talk about it enough. I wear it pretty much every single day. I mean, do I reach for others? Yes, but this is the one that I reach for the most and travel with and have a backup of waiting for me since I'm almost out of this one. I'm really particular about what goes under my eyes because I have dryness, I have texture, I have fine lines, and the right corrector will be creamy and blend out like a second skin while doing its job of correcting those undertones, thus allowing you to wear less concealer, less layers under your eye is always better. I have light medium skin with neutral leaning warm undertones, and bisque just works beautifully for me. I was glad to see that this is a bestseller and that other people are loving it too. Now, the concealer I'm sharing might come as a surprise to some of you because I haven't talked about it in a long time. When it first came out, I used it constantly. I've gone through a couple of tubes of it, but since then I've discovered other concealers that have released and I haven't used it as much, but I recently pulled it back out and I was kind of asking myself, why haven't I been using this? Because it is really good. This is Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. And the reason why I'm recommending this bestseller to you and think that it's completely worth the money is because this is a full coverage concealer that isn't drying, it's flattering, and it works great under the eyes and on the face. Now, the shade that I have, Nude, is okay for my face, but under my eyes, it's a little bit too yellow toned. So I actually plan to pick up a different shade during this event because I really like this for a fuller coverage concealer that's flattering and gives me a little bit more coverage than my everyday concealers for nighttime or when I'm doing something where I just want a little bit more coverage. And you get almost a ½ ounce in this bottle. It's almost half the size of a foundation. This is actually the perfect example of a product that's kind of been pushed to the side because newer products have released, but it's still a Sephora bestseller and has been for a really long time for good reason. I need to make sure I have a backup of this because if not, I need to replenish my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish powder. I have been reaching for this a lot lately. I've been setting my under eyes, setting my face with it, more so than with loose powder lately. I don't know what's been happening. Normally I use loose powder, but this has just been more convenient. And of course, it's blurring and flattering. I mean, everyone of all skin types just raves about this powder. I use the shade Fair because it's the lightest shade that she has, and so it sets my face like a translucent powder. I'll actually dust some on here if I can find a brush so you can see how this shade looks translucent on my light medium skin tone. I have shared similar powders to this in the past that I've used as alternatives, and they're good, but there is something about the original. It's just so beautiful, so flattering. I have dry under eyes and combination skin. I get oily in my T-zone and can be kind of dry or normal around the perimeter, and this works beautifully on all areas, whether I'm setting with it, touching up with it, or using it as a finishing powder. This stays a bestseller for a reason. I feel like I'm going to say that a lot in this video, but there's a reason for it. Because I can get some shine and oil breakthrough in my T-zone, especially when it's hot here in humid New Orleans, I sometimes have to blot and touch up with a translucent powder. It's just the nature of the beast. Now, the Charlotte Tilbury powder that I just shared usually lives in my vanity unless I'm traveling and I want an all-in-one because I'm streamlining. I don't usually carry that in my purse. It would be kind of a pain to bring it from my vanity to my purse every single day. The blotting powder that lives in my purse is the Fenty Beauty Invisimatte blotting powder. The shade is called Universal and it looks completely white, but it's this sheer shade that just disappears into your skin and blots and blurs and does exactly what a blotting powder is supposed to do without caking up or looking like you're wearing powder or adding to that makeup-y look during the day. I know when I used to touch up with a powder years ago, I always felt like I was caking makeup on my face, but I don't with this. This is such a good powder, and it is the one that Rihanna touched up with at the Super Bowl on stage, and I thought immediately, that's my powder that I've been using for years, so I felt validated. I mean, of course she's going to use her own powder, but it is really good. I don't know why I always have such an issue narrowing down blushes and bronzers to recommend. I'm lumping the two together because I just wanted to. I'm going to start with the cream bronzer that I've been in love with since I discovered it. It's been a bestseller, I think, since it launched. This is the Merit Stick Bronzer, which is an oval shape. It's unique and different from your typical circular shaped bronzer, and it really adapts so easily to any contours of your face. Sometimes when you're bronzing or contouring, you don't want a round shape. It is helpful to have this kind of contoured shape here. The shape plus the product itself just make this a perfect product for someone who's a beginner with cream products, or if you're someone who's been using them for a really long time. The pigment is buildable and sheer at the same time, so it looks completely natural after you blend it out. I'm trying to go very, very light with my finger so I don't shear it out completely, but it also doesn't remain sticky or greasy. It sets down, so you just have this beautiful natural bronze look going on. And I mean, that's what you should want from your bronzer, is a nice natural bronzy glow, and this gives that to you. It doesn't look like you're wearing bronzer. These types of products are what Merit is known for, which leads me to their Flush Balms, which are also bestsellers and have been for as long as I can remember. So we have the shade Cheeky here, which is a beautiful pink that looks great on anybody. And then we have the shade Terracotta, which is a terracotta shade that is perfect for summer. So again, if you blend these out, they just blend out into this beautiful sheer tone that just looks so natural, like you're naturally flushed. But nothing is greasy, nothing is sticky. These are just easy and beautiful, and they're great to travel with too. These are definitely bestsellers that I think have been worth every penny. Now, the blush that I have on today is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blush in Jubilee. This formulation is so pretty. I just dip a dry or damp sponge into it and dab it on the back of my hand to kind of blend it out a little bit, and then tap it on my cheek and blend it out, and it blurs and smooths while it just gives this beautiful pigment. It's so easy to apply and lasts all day. I've never been a big fan of balm type products, so I was a little bit nervous about these, but these set down. They're not greasy, they're not sticky at all. They just give a blurred, natural finish. I love this shade, and I plan to get at least another shade during this event. There was a brief moment in time when I thought the Smashbox Cali Contour palette was going to be discontinued, And then they launched it in a darker shade. So I was really excited because I've been recommending this since it launched. It's one of my favorite all-time products, not just face palettes. This is my second one because I hit pan on 3 of the products in here on my first, and I had to replenish it. I can't be without this palette, whether it's for multitasking at home or for traveling with. The quality of every single shade in here is phenomenal. You have a contour, a bronzer, 2 highlighters, and actually I use this champagne shade as a highlighter, and then I usually use this peachy gold shade on my eyes just because of my skin tone. But you may enjoy using this on your face. That's just a personal preference. This blush tone is so flattering on everyone I've seen it on, and this is a matte highlight just to help with the highlighting, contouring. If you need to set with it, you can do that. I use this on my face. I use it on my eyes. I use it at home. I travel with it. I've gifted it. I think this is one of the best products, and I would say underrated, but it's a bestseller. If you don't have it, I think you need it. So I just changed my lip out. Don't know if you noticed. I wanted to share a lip product with you that I just thought about. We'll talk about that here in a second, but I first want to share a couple of eyeshadow palettes with you that I particularly love. I think that the Sephora savings event is a great time to pick up an eyeshadow palette. If you've been eyeing one up, or if you feel like maybe you have one that's a little bit old and it may be time to replace it. I actually did that, was it last year or the year before? Because Tartelette in Bloom has been in my life for a really long time, and that palette had gotten a little bit old, not a little bit, a lot old, and so I replaced it and got a new one because this is a staple palette for me and I wanted to still have it in my life. It's great for complete full eye looks or one and done looks. It's just an easy, no-brainer neutral palette. It's been a bestseller for years for a reason, and I couldn't imagine being without it. So it was definitely one that I wasn't going to not replace. So I did it when one of these events rolled around. Another best-selling palette that I just discovered last year. I was very, very late. I reached for this day in, day out. It's the Too Faced Born This Way Natural Nudes palette. I've talked about this quite a bit since I discovered it. I do love how slim it is. I didn't realize that before I bought it, but it's also another great neutrals palette. I can get a very easy look with this by using something as a one and done shade, or I can get a complete look all the way from a highlight shade down to my liner. It's neutral yet really versatile if you're looking for something like that. And these 2 palettes from Natasha Denona are probably my 2 most reached for Natasha Denona palettes, and I just think her palettes are really great in terms of quality and versatility. So we have the My Dream palette. It's, as you can see, completely versatile. This is actually what's on my eyes today. I love that I can go neutral with this or put in little pops of color here and there. I didn't realize how much I was going to use this when I first got it, but it is used quite often, as is Natasha Denona Glam. This goes in and out of stock because it is a big seller. It's on the neutral / cool side, and even though it's called glam, it's great for every day. This is in heavy rotation, not just for nighttime. These are also great for gifting if you're looking for a little something for somebody that may not buy something like this for themselves. Somehow I was able to narrow my lip products down to just 3 bestsellers I think are completely worth your money. I don't know how I did it, but somehow I did. Don't worry, I do have a few more coming in subsequent videos during this event. Stay tuned for those. Be sure you're subscribed so you don't miss those videos. So the first is what was on my lips prior to changing into this fire engine red. This is from Makeup by Mario. This is the Moisture Glow Plumping Lip Serum. This is one of those lip products that kind of melts when you put it on your lips. It's like a gloss balm lipstick hybrid. So you get some pigment, but you also get some serum and balm properties because it nourishes your lips. But you get some opacity like you would from a lipstick and shine like you would from a gloss. And they have a little bit of a minty feeling to them. They plump. They are just really flattering. I'm saying they like I have 10 of them. I have the one in shade Bronze Glow, and I want more. I wear this a lot. This ranks right up there with the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip product I've shared on my channel tons of times, and I think I'll be mentioning in a video coming shortly. So this twists up and clicks. Can you hear that? I do love the way it feels. I love the way my lips look when I wear it. This is a great sheer treatment type of product to keep in your purse in the spring and summer. And it's a product I almost didn't get, but I'm so glad I did, and I do plan on getting more. Moving up in terms of longevity and pigment, we have the Merit Signature Lipstick. I just love this formula. It melts into your lips. It gives you longevity and moisture at the same time while not being a thick, creamy formula. The shade that I have is Baby, and it's just a nice neutral pink. These also have nice ingredients, and they're very flattering on mature lips. So if you're looking for a really nice lipstick formula, this is a bestseller that's worth it. For those of you who like long wearing lipstick formulas, I wanted to recommend something to you, even though that's not normally my favorite type of lip product. However, this formula is actually pretty nice. I've shared these on my channel before. This is the Sephora Cream Lip Stain Liquid Lipstick in the shade 01, Always Red. It's a matte classic red, but they have tons of shades to choose from. And of course, because it's a Sephora collection product, you can save 30% right now through April 24th. So these are just really nice if you like a long wearing formula. They're creamy, they're opaque. I don't find these to be overly drying in comparison with a lot of similar products. So I've always kept a few shades of these in my life, this red being one of them. I have sensitive skin with rosacea, so my skin can be pretty picky when it comes to skincare products. Now, Drunk Elephant has worked really well for me overall, and this particular product, Bouncy Bright Facial Brightening Mask, was a hit for me, a big hit. So this has 10% azelaic acid, which is really great for you rosacea sufferers. It also has 1% salicylic acid, and it's a leave-on mask that you apply after you do your nighttime skincare routine, made to boost radiance, reduce redness, clarify uneven skin tone, and fade spots. I have really been enjoying this. So whether it's this product or another Drunk Elephant that you've had your eye on, or maybe you're wanting to restock, I definitely think this event is the time to do it. I'm not surprised to see that it's a bestseller year after year. I have recommended this to you since I discovered it. It's one of my favorite, if not my favorite, summertime scent. Replica Beach Walk. It's not your typical sunscreen smelling beach fragrance. A fresh scent inspired by salty air and rays of sun, where bergamot and pink pepper fuse with lemon atop a floral perfume of heliotrope, coconut milk, and musk. These notes combine to give you that perfect beach scent without smelling generic or like other beach scents that you've probably smelled before. I always recommend fragrances to you when these events roll around because they're pricey, and if you can get them at a discount, why not, right? Even if you're just saving tax, it helps. Now, I had never seen that Replica also has a beach vibes candle. I plan on picking that up myself because it's the time of year where I want that scent in my house. So if you weren't aware that that exists, it does. I'll have it linked with everything else down below, but be on the lookout for it to show up in my Sephora haul because it appealed to me right away. Now, I don't have this here with me, but I've shared it on my channel in the past because I loved this candle. The Voluspa Santal Vanille. The jar is really beautiful. It's a very giftable candle too, if you like to keep those kinds of things on hand. I'm recalling it has vanilla and sandalwood and some other notes, and I just remember it being warm and inviting and a really lovely scent to have in the home any time of year, actually. I purchased JVN Complete Blowout Styling Milk during a Sephora event, thinking I probably wouldn't really like it. I was going to test it out, give you my verdict. Well, here we are. I use this almost every day. This has become my go-to styling product. It's lightweight and pretty much gives me everything I need all in one. It's a heat-activated styling cream that adds smoothness, style memory, and protection against heat and humidity. Now, we have a lot of humidity here, so sometimes I need a little bit of extra help in that department, but it does help with frizz and style and with moderate humidity. It's supposed to be good for all hair types and all hair textures. All I know is that it's been really nice for my fine hair with uneven wave that I heat style pretty much every day. It's also got good things in it, peptides and some other things that are supposed to protect your hair over time, which I appreciate. I'm all about hair health. This has been a great purchase and is a repurchase. If you have been subscribed to me, you probably know I love a good hair tool, and I will pay a little bit more for one that works really well with a little extra technology and for it to protect my hair from damage, especially the older I get as my hair gets drier and more brittle. It's more important to me. But if I can get a little bit of a discount, I try to do that. I know a lot of you are like that too. So I wanted to share a couple today, including what I styled my hair with today, because every time I do kind of undone tousled waves like this, I get asked what I style my hair with. It is the Amika High Tide Hair Crimper or Waver. You just open and close it down the hair. It's very easy to use. They also have a deeper one with bigger barrels now. I love this, won't be without it. For straighteners, I am a big GHD fan. I used the gold styler for a long time and then switched over to the platinum, the 1-inch. They think about hair health when they create their tools. They always set their tools to the optimum temperature to get results while maintaining hair health. There's a bunch of other things, but that's a big thing for them. And most recently, I got their Duet style. This is the 2-in-1 that will blow dry your hair straight, and then you can use it as a straightener after. I absolutely love this. I've been using this tons. It's a great all-in-one tool that is a little bit on the pricier side. So if you can get it at a discount, why not do it? I kind of switch between GHD and T3 when it comes to curling my hair. I really love the T3 trios where you can switch out the barrels because it allows me to quickly change without having an entire new tool. And I get great results with their curling irons and their wands. Now, I know there is a limit of one Dyson item during this event. I use and love the Dyson Supersonic hair dryer, so I'll just throw that out there. I never know what's going to be in stock. During the last event, I was eyeing up a few attachments, so I'll just have to see if those are in stock during this particular event. My past Sephora recommendations still stand. I still love those products. So if you want to see more recommendations for what I've recommended in the past, be sure to check those videos out here. I hope you enjoyed this and found it helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and stay tuned for upcoming videos on new Sephora products I'm loving, holy grail products, luxury products, and of course, a haul. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.